If you are in the business of collecting information, processing personal information, we'll come to what that means in a moment, then POPI is going to apply to you.
So in terms of the mix of speakers today, we had Indra Delanarol from Wits University presenting the research that had come out of Making All Voices Count. We then had a panel discussion with representatives of Grassroot and Amandla.mobi that was chaired by Andile Masuku. And then we had Dario Milo, who is a media lawyer from Webber Wentzel, giving us the lay of the land as it applies to POPI and when we can expect the POPI Act to come into effect.
Actually, we have had POPI as an act since around about 2013, when the National Assembly passed it. Parliament approved of it, the President then signed it, but he only put into force, for operational reasons, certain provisions of POPI. And it's mainly the provisions that relate to setting up the regulator, you know. So the meat of POPI, which is essentially those 8 conditions that you have to comply with, that's not yet in force. The idea is it can't yet be enforced until we have a regulator that is able to police it. There wouldn't be much point in POPI being breached today, a complaint being made to the info regulator, and they can do nothing about it.
It was amazing actually, because from my work experience working for the bank and also working in the insurance sector, I had heard of POPI, but we never had like trainings where we were given much information in terms of people's data, how you process it, and yeah, so it was actually mind stimulating.
I didn't know too much about the POPI law, so it was very nice to at least understand what it's about. But it's also very scary because it's obviously a lot of implications, so hoping to find out more about that later on.
I found it quite enlightening. It's interesting when you are part of initiatives that you believe are in the public good, in service of the public good, how easy it is to forget the importance of protecting the public good when it comes to data security, privacy issues, and so on.
I'm more worried from maybe a local business's point of view, like a startup or a small business that wants to use people's information. Suddenly they have so much of additional administration, and the ease of doing business is suddenly so much more difficult. So I think it's more about those guys who want to start businesses and run small businesses. I think they're going to suffer. Yeah, at least that's what I'm afraid of.
Fortunately, I've always been an inquisitive person, so there's not going to be much change in terms of how do I now look at the websites which just give you a lot of print explaining the terms and conditions and agreements and whatnot. I've always been concerned and I've always been vigilant on who and how am I sharing my information.
I was also quite, I suppose, empowering to hear how some of my contemporaries within the space in other endeavors are meeting those challenges, and also quite empowering to be given information on how to prepare for changes in legislation that might impact how we go about doing what we do.